Hey, do you have a favorite pepper plant and you hate to see it go? Let's overwinter it. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, first thing, you wanna make sure that you pop off all your peppers. Go ahead and harvest them, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. That's the first thing. All right, so as you can see, I got small ones. I can use them. I'm gonna go ahead and take those off, and I'll get right back with you in a couple seconds. All right, I just got finished taking off all the peppers. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is gonna be very drastic. It's gonna look harsh, but we gotta make sure that we do this. All right, so all I'm gonna do is cut the just above the node, and it's gonna look like a V, a letter V. I'm gonna bring you in close so that you can see it. But in order for the plant to survive the winter time, we must do this. All right, so I'm gonna cut just above that node because the branches are gonna come out from the nodes when it's time to bring these back out. So let me go ahead and get the shears, just cut above that node. Make sure that your shears are nice and clean. You wanna bring any disease. All right, so now I'm gonna go just above the next node right there. I'm gonna clip that just like that. I know it looks painful, but it must be done. So that's my V that I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go clip this off, move that out the way for you so you can see. All right, so I'm gonna get just above that node, and I'm gonna go above that one. Now, if you look carefully, you'll see that it's a letter V on either side. And you see this little extra piece, I need to go ahead and just take that off. And then that's what we're gonna overwinter. I know it looks rough, but it's gonna help. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get my shovel in place. I could take the trowel, but I found this is a lot quicker. I'm gonna go ahead and go up under and get the root ball. So just uproot it just like that. And I'm gonna set it back down. All right, so I got a lot of pepper plants in here. So all I'm gonna do is loosen this up. And my soil is fairly loose. I wanna get all this out because this is what we're taking inside, and we don't wanna bring any pests that could be on the roots of the plant, and then you will have a mess if you have a pile of aphids or anything like that. Now this is fairly loose, like I said, so you may want to take it over to the spricket and rinse it off, but I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do as well. Now I don't need all of this because we're not growing any peppers inside the house, so I'm gonna trim it down so it'll fit in our small pot. And I'm gonna show you the size pot that I use too. So I still have a little bit of dirt on it, so I'm gonna shake it loose a little bit more, trying to get as much of that out as possible because we want to make sure that it survived the winter time, and we don't want to have a lot of bugs in our homes. All right, so let me take you over to the next step so I can show you what we can do for the rest of the bugs that may be on here and haven't hatched yet with the eggs. So let's go. Now let me show you these roots. Now it's fairly clean. If you have a lot of soil still on it, you could take it over and spray it off with the spricket. But what I'm doing now, I'm gonna take my pure Castile soap. I've already mixed it. You can have neem oil in here too. And so I'm gonna put a link in the description so you'll know exactly what I use. And all you're gonna do is just put this inside and let it soak just like that for a couple minutes. You wanna make sure you get all the roots in. If you need to use a bigger bucket to put your neem oil or your pure Castile soap in, and I'm using Dr. Jacobs right here. Like I said, everything will be down in the description so you can use. All right, so I'm gonna let that soak, and we're gonna go ahead and get our soil ready for potting up. So let's go. So the next thing you wanna do is prepare your soil, and this has been saved inside because I don't want any pests to get in here. And it's my Happy Frog potting mix. And once again, I'll put this down in the description. If you have a potting mix that you like, you can go ahead and use that as well. But you want to make sure that it has enough nutrients so that it can last over the winter time. All right, so I'm just gonna put this in here and we're gonna get it nice and moist. And it's not gonna be dripping wet. I just wanna get it moist so that the roots will love their environment. So just spray a little bit of water on it. And all I'm gonna do is mix it around. Once again, I want this to be nice and moist. But I shouldn't be able to squeeze it, and water shouldn't be able to come out. I don't want it to be that wet. All right, that should be enough. I'm gonna keep on mixing it. All right, maybe a little bit more, and then we'll be good to go. And there's one thing that you want to keep in mind is that I'm gonna do more than one plant like this because this is real stressful on the plant. So every plant may not survive. So if I only have one, then chances are if it doesn't do well, doesn't take, then I'm out of luck. So if you have more than one pepper plant, not saying you got to do all of them, but it'd be a good idea to go ahead and try to do more than one just to be on the safe side, because the benefits are that when I get these ready to put out in the spring, then I'm gonna get a quick harvest. It's gonna be a lot sooner. All right, so now I'm just gonna take some and put it in my pot. And my pot is not that big because we're not trying to encourage the plants to fruit indoors. You could do that, but it takes a little more work. And so all I'm trying to do is save these over the winter time, and so that I can get higher yields when it's time to plant them in the spring. All right, so that's the benefit of doing it. All right, so a little more, and then we'll be ready to pot this up. Got it nice and moist, but when I squeeze it, it's not that just the soil dropping. It's not dropping any water, but it's nice and moist. All right, so all I'm gonna do is take this out of the Castile soap, and all I'm gonna do is spray it off like this. And if you have a lot of soil on your plant, when you get it out, you want to make sure that you take the hose and go over it somewhat. All right, so now all I gotta do is put my root ball in, and like I said, it doesn't have to be a lot because we done trim, we did a buzz cut, so we should be good with that. And all I'm gonna do is take the soil and then go ahead and layer it on top just like this, and keep it covered, and then we're good to go to take it in the house. And then I'm gonna go over a couple more steps because these mosquitoes are getting active. All right, so just think about having a lot of your pepper plants overwintering, and then so when you put them out, you're gonna have the advantage because you're gonna be getting peppers before anybody else, especially for the people who did not overwinter like with you and what I'm doing. All right, so this is a great project to have, and so we're going to take it in the house right now, and then I'll tell you what you need to look out for, and so that you can be successful. Now we're back inside. Now we're gonna go over some care tips for the wintertime. Now it does need some type of lighting, it doesn't need that much. So I'm gonna put mine in my grow rack for maybe 2 hours or so every day, and so that it can get its lighting, or you can use ambient lighting, put it near the actual window so that it can get some sunlight. But once again, it only needs about 2 to 3 hours because we want to keep this in dormancy. Now also, we want to make sure that we keep the temperature around 50 to 60 degrees. That is also going to help it stay in dormancy. So I'm gonna put a couple in the garage to see, but my house stays real warm. So I know that some of the leaves are gonna form because it's gonna be hotter than 60 degrees in my house. But I will try putting some in the garage. Hopefully it doesn't get too cold because I don't want it to put any more stress on our plant. But if you do keep it inside and you see the leaves start to come, you wanna make sure that you pull the leaves off because we don't want any pests getting on the actual plant and causing problems. And if you're worried about pest issues, even though we got the potting soil, you can use some of these sticky traps, these yellow ones, and I'm just gonna cut it up and lay it on top of the soil, And then so if there are any pests or bugs coming out of the soil, then they're gonna get stuck to our yellow sticky traps. And I'll put a link down in the description. This always helps me when I'm dealing with my pineapple plants. When I bring them inside, it always catches everything. All right, so that'll ease your mind. Now, when we are watering, you don't need to water this that much. You want to check and make sure, because depending on your temperature inside, I know my temperatures, I'm going to have to water not a lot, but I want to make sure that I don't put too much water in here to mess up the roots. I just want to make sure that the soil stays damp. And I may even take the wood chips out of the potting soil that I strained and layer them on the top so that I could help control the moisture level as well. Guess what? I also have another plant that I did, and I'm going to have a whole lot more. So if you can, go ahead and save your peppers. Last thing, you want to make sure that when you take them back outside in the spring time, you want to make sure that you harden these off, because they can't just go straight out and stay out there. You got to bring them out for a little bit, let them get acclimated to the weather so that they don't die. We don't want to put all of this hard work into pulling them up, trimming them down, and then we leave them outside and then they don't make it. So bring them out gradually, and so they can get used to their environment, so they can start putting on nice growth and nice peppers. All right, so I hope that you're gonna try to do this, and just remember to try to get more than one of these plants, just in case one or two don't survive. All right, so do me a favor, share this video, and go ahead and look at the next video. I'll see you next time. All right, don't forget, let's save these peppers.